Hey all, Flame here, and welcome to the FlameHisWorld commentary of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. This is another Sonic racing game that's following kind of the same basic DNA as the likes of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, All-Stars Racing Transformed, and more recently Team Sonic Racing. We open up with this song by James Bourne from Busted. Gotta be honest, not a comeback I was necessarily expecting in a Sonic game of all things. Although we did kind of have the Hoobastank guy in Sonic Forces, so I guess it's not out of left field to bring back people who the general public hasn't thought about in decades. But you know, it's actually a pretty good song, to be honest. The Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, I believe it's called. And yes, that was the line that's "Steal their souls." I'm not necessarily sure what that's referring to, because I guess there is a ghost item, the King Boom Boo item in the game, but that's reaching quite a bit to justify what I can only imagine were bullshit, make it up as you go along lyrics. But yeah, this is quite a nice opening cinematic. I will say that the song, although I do like it, it is kind of a guilty pleasure thing. It's no green light ride. But here we are in the game with quite a pretty start screen, but we're going to get right into things. What I'm going to be doing over the course of this playthrough is not a blind run, it's not like a story mode run, because this game, unlike Team Sonic Racing, it doesn't have a proper story mode, although given how Team Sonic Racing story mode went, that's not really much of a loss. I'm going to be playing through the Grand Prix, so I'm going to go into it, and I'm going to be mostly just playing by ear as to what characters I use, except for this first run where I'm going to use Sonic. I'm going to use his standard kart, the one that we've got used to seeing him in ever since All-Stars Racing Transformed. As for difficulty, I think I'm going to stick with the default, because I am not very good at this game. By which I mean, like, I'm okay with the game, but like, if you know how I am with stuff like this with Mario Kart, I'm not an expert at it either. But we're going to start off with the Donpa Grand Prix, using the setup that I've kind of put together as my "it works for me" setup. So we have the level 1 quick charge, we have the boost starter, we have the speed tuner, which I only unlocked the other day actually when recording some of the DLC for FC playthroughs, and we have the spin drift, which almost feels OP, but we'll see that in action shortly. Let's get into it. So this opening track here, the E Stadium, this is basically your Mario Kart stadium. It's even got like the oddly shaped track, the not quite anti-grav, but it's got the same kind of appeal to it. This might as well be the Mario Kart 8 opening track, really. It's like a legally distinct version of it. And yes, the rival racer you get, you can change it if you don't like the one you get, but I got Zavok, who I've come to like Zavok ironically. He is a terrible character who does nothing, but that is also kind of his appeal to me. Now the opening boost there, I'm going to try and stop with the constant Mario Kart references in time, but it works kind of similar to Mario Kart, where you ideally want to put your finger down on the button when it's on the 2, and that's how you land in that safe green spot there that gives you the starting boost. It's a little bit more lenient than Mario Kart, because as you saw, there was a gauge there, and if you go a little bit early, it's not the end of the world, because you can always just take your finger off for a second and get it into position still if you do. Like, press it a bit too early, but, you know, ideally, in practice, it works basically the same as Mario Kart. Just put your thumb down on the 2 and it'll do the job. But this is this game's main gimmick. This is the CrossWorld mechanic. Now, when you first start playing the game, before you like start unlocking stuff and before you beat the game properly, there are just a small handful of pre-selected CrossWorlds that you could randomly spawn in. Once you have beaten the game properly once, you unlock it so that you can theoretically land in any of the playable tracks in the game as your CrossWorld. As you can see here, where we've ended up in the Shadow Generations version of White Space. This is really not what I wanted. I don't want to end up in the goop. I don't want to have to use the shitty fucking... What is it? I forget what it's called, the mechanic that Shadow had, the unlock thing where he could float through the goop. That was the worst one from that game. Like, the Doom Surf was pretty cool over the water, but the goop one, not that big of a fan. I knew he was going to throw that, so I thought it would be a good idea to kind of get ahead a little bit. Now, I know this track in particular does have a shortcut that you can take toward the end of the third lap. We'll see if I'm able to pull it off properly or not. Like I said, I don't consider myself that great at these games, but I see it here. This one here, I think that's a bit of a broken shortcut really, because that skipped me ahead a lot more than I remembered it skipping me ahead, but alas. Now I just need to worry about holding this first, because it would be kind of embarrassing if I lost the first like tutorial race. Now it's okay, I beat Zavok, who is my dedicated rival. As long as I beat Zavok overall, I think I can sleep easy at night. See, on to the next round.
Well done, but it's not over.
Not over yet, Zavok. Up next is Rainbow Garden. Not to be confused with a road of the same colour scheme. This one's actually a pretty cool like second track. That's one of the trends that I've noticed with games like this, is that it's very hard to describe what I mean by this, but I feel like there's a kind of typecast second track where it's like, it's inoffensive, but it also doesn't leave much of an impression. That particular opening there, sections like that are why I like to have the starting boost item on my gadget set. But yeah, as you probably also saw, the reason why I said that the spin is probably overpowered, sections like that at the start, what happens when you have the spin enabled is that you can just sort of plow through all the other racers, and if they get too close to you, it hurts them. And given one of the difficulties in racing games, at least one of the things that I tend to struggle with, is just like bashing into the other racers and them getting in my way, that kind of takes that worry away entirely. Let's see if we can go into the frenzy one. So when you see that green icon on the CrossWorld track, it means that there's a frenzy modifier, which sometimes can help you, sometimes can hinder you. I can't quite tell what's happening right now. Oh, okay, it's on the boost thing. Like, it seems to be filling up my drift much quicker. Like, I was kind of looking for like speed up gates. That's kind of like the most common one, where like it puts extra speed pads on the floor, or like the speed arches. But no, it's just giving me much quicker drift boosts, and in the case of the boats here, it's just giving me quicker jump opportunities. Which, this would come in handy for the festival that's running right now in the multiplayer, where I was playing just beforehand, before recording this, and at the time I was playing it, the modifier, like the thing they were giving you like the points boost for, was being able to do the most air jumps, or like the most tricks even, like air tricks. And for some reason, like, even though there was a recommended gadget setup that the game encourages players to use, there were some people who really didn't seem to clock onto the fact that they were meant to be doing a lot of air tricks. And I feel like we were losing our team bonuses because of that, because I would get like 70 from just like spamming the button like I was doing there, whereas other people were just sort of forgetting. And like maybe they've been playing for a little while and they ain't noticed the changeover, because it's like a time thing, it periodically changes over what the bonus thing is. But come on, guys. See, we're still in first overall. That's one thing I did notice, that this game, if you screw up, you can spend the tickets to get another go. I'm gonna try not to use that. I hope I won't need to, especially since I'm only playing on normal, but we'll see. So here we have Water Palace, and I've got to get the complaint out of the way. I do not like that they've replaced the theme, the fact that we don't have back-to-back playing in Water Palace. Like, that seemed like the most obvious song choice to use. And realistically, I know why they didn't use back-to-back, and that's because Naganuma owns the music himself. Like, he refuses to do work for hire arrangements, so they would kind of have to work out a deal with him, and I would not be surprised if they just kind of don't want to pay him. But like, still, it's kind of a shame that we don't have back-to-back here. But it's still a really pretty track, so I can still appreciate it there. I still don't mind getting it popping up in like the random selections and whatnot. But yes, since this is a proper water level now, I can give one of my biggest compliments towards this game compared to both previous, well, All-Stars Racing Transformed and Mario Kart World, in the fact that the boats having this jump mechanic makes them so much more fun than basically any other water section. With All-Stars Racing Transformed, I feel like the boat section are basically just the land section but with worse controls. And the same's kinda true with World. Like, it's fine, but like, I shouldn't have just driven straight into a fucking dinosaur. That one's entirely down to me not paying attention. But yeah, like the jump mechanic here, being able to charge up your jump and use that to your benefit, that gives the water sections much more of a justification for being there, really, than, you know, in previous games where it kind of felt like they were thinking, well, we're going to have a plane, we might as well have a boat as well. Come on. Of course it's a fucking weight. Like, them things, sometimes it drops you things that are, like, inoffensive. Other times it's like, yeah, we're just going to drop a weight on your head. Which, not the first time we've seen that in Sonic. I know that was one of Eggman's pranks that he would do sometimes in Sonic Shuffle. I say it's like one of the maybe 3 or 4 people have actually played Sonic Shuffle, but I'm probably the only person who has played Sonic Shuffle but never played Mario Party. That's kind of like, I played the legally distinct Mario Party but not the actual thing itself. I want to hold on to this defensive item here because I have a feeling... Actually, let's see if I can get the good item instead. What is the good item? It's a shield. Great. Well, shield still comes in handy now, so it's whatever. Alright, let's try and... Oh, fuck off! Right at the end. gonna hold it. Fuck you, Zavok, I won. that was the most tense one so far, because like that absolutely could have fucked me over there with that many things hitting me at the end. Yeah, you're noticing me getting the red rings there. I didn't get all the red rings in my initial runs, so I did miss a few, so hopefully I'll be able to fill out some more of them here. But we will see. Up next is the last track in the GP, and what this game does, as we'll see in just a moment once it loads in, we get a kind of medley of the previous 3 tracks. There's a little bit of a cop-out. It's not as exciting as getting new tracks, but there's more overall Grand Prix in this game, I think, than there were in Team Sonic Racing. So it kind of balances out. Yes, Zavok, I know. If I can get a full sweep of the first cup, that would be nice, but I'm also not too confident in my own skill. Keep my way ahead a little bit. Make good use of the spinny spin. Oh, fuck you then. Kind of didn't want that, but I guess I don't always get a say in the matter. I definitely don't want to lose to Charmy. The Zavok's one thing, but I do not want to lose. I don't want to lose to Charmy fucking B. No, I'm pretty sure it's possible. God, seeing Zavok here, man, what a fucking painfully mediocre game Lost World actually was. That's kind of why I've started finding Zavok as amusing as I do, because he is like the face of mediocrity. He has... The Deadly Six in general really have not much going for them. They have one personality trait, but Zavok is the one who, instead of having one personality trait, he had no personality traits. He was literally basic, like, if you didn't have any of the little subtle characterizations that Nintendo have given Bowser over the years, it would basically just be that, and with a worse design. Because, like, Bowser, he's an iconic design for a reason, you know, like, he leaves an impression as, like, being the big spiky turtle dude. Whereas Zavok, it's like, he's Zeti, I know, but, like, if you just look at his design, what even... Like, what is he? Like, he's just a big red guy. He's got a mediocre design, mediocre characterization from a painfully bland game. And that's his legacy, and yet they still keep bringing him back anyway. And, like, even when they brought him back in Forces, they gave him arguably, like, the worst boss in that game. Even the Metal Sonic and Infinite ones, where you're just chasing them, like, at least something was happening there, but like Zavok got the take your time and wait kind of boss. So can I get through this boost? Yep, just about. God, the trick system in this game is so satisfying. Because you are just like mashing the analog stick in different directions to make it work, but it kind of feels... This game in general feels very stylish in its animations, and this is a big part of it. Like, you've got very fast moving, very smooth looking like tricks you can do that just make the whole experience, the moment to moment gameplay, feel that more, like I say, stylish. It just feels stylish. It feels very responsive and rewarding. Yeah, I got the full 63 points overall. That trend will probably not continue, but I'll take the wins I can get. Nothing I do could humiliate you more than just the knowledge that you are Zavok. That was a nice little throwback to It Doesn't Matter. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching part 1 of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I will see you next time for the next Grand Prix. See you then.